Welcome back into Full Sail Showdown for another episode. There's been lots of debate going on with young prospects in the NHL like Connor Bedard. Today we have our analysts Miles Mahasik and Noah Shamami here to join us. Miles, I want to ask you first, who is the best young player in the NHL right now?
Well, you mentioned Connor Bedard to start off, but I'm going to take it back to a former first-round pick from a couple of years prior. That's none other than Jack Hughes for the New Jersey Devils, just 22 years old. First overall pick in the 2019 draft. His first couple of years obviously plagued with the coronavirus, and then after that dealt with an injury. So last year was truly his first full season, 99 points, 56 assists, led the team, helped them make it to the playoffs, and that's why I think Jack Hughes is the best young fella in the league right now.
Miles, you mentioned Connor Bedard. You had it. You were just there. But it's Connor McDavid. And I know what you're saying on, Jack Hughes, but you can't deny the fact about a guy who got drafted in 2015, first overall pick. He's a 5-time MVP, 5 seasons over 100 points. I mean, the guy is a scoring machine. Every time I watch him, he looks like it's like a AAA player, and a AAA is the best in Little League. He's like playing against single A guys, and that's the best in the NHL. It's like when you watch him, it's unbelievable. I can't explain the fact on how good this guy is because he's just nobody's ever seen it. And I thought you had it, man. You said Connor. I thought you were gonna go with Connor McDavid. I'm like, all right, we'll agree, but I just can't. I've never seen anything like it, dude. Never.
My thing is, you mentioned Connor McDavid being the guy who can just get you a goal left and right. He's a scoring machine. Jack Hughes obviously isn't that guy to light the net on fire like McDavid is. But the thing is, he can get your teammates he can set up his teammates to do that for him. Second in assists on his team this year, but he's also missed 16 games, so that's why that number is a little off. I believe that if he played the full season so far, he would be first. And obviously last year, as I mentioned, 56 assists. That's pretty good for the young fella.
Miles, let me ask you something. All the points you just added to everything else, what did the Edmonton Oilers do recently?
They made it to the playoffs?
They won 17 games in a row. And in those 17 games, Connor McDavid had a point in every single one of those games. And you want to talk about the most valuable player? I got to go with McDavid.
Some great takes there as the hype is definitely building in the NHL right now with those young stars. Now I want to ask you, we'll go to Shamami first this time. Who's the best player in the NHL over 30?
A guy that's I've been seeing since 2008 when I just got started in watching the NHL, and that's Sidney Crosby. Sid the Kid, we used to call him Crybaby, but I mean the guy, he kind of mimics what McDavid does, not the speed, but he sets up the plays to for his teammates. He gets it done. The edge work is unmatched. I've never seen, other than probably Connor McDavid, but he really pioneered the setups of scoring goals and allowing his teammates to put the puck in the net.
I like your crybaby take there. I personally believe that too, but I think this answer has to be Nikita Kucherov for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They don't win back-to-back cups without him, and they almost won a three-peat with him, just a couple games short, losing in the Stanley Cup Finals again. But this year, he leads the league in points, already has 98 points on the season, and just a couple years ago, he led the league in points. So far, he's already on pace to score more points in that year.
You want to mention Cups? He's got one more. Crosby's got one more than Nikita Kucherov. But yeah, I would say he's been on a tear. He also leads the league in points right now, as you said. But if I'm going to take one guy, a guy to lead my team, and a guy to build the foundation, I'm going to take Sidney Crosby. Did you see Kucherov in the All-Star game? I mean, he didn't look like he didn't care. I mean, he was just flipping the puck around. Meanwhile, you got Crosby actually trying out there, and I think, if I'm gonna take a guy to build, my roster, I'm gonna start with Sidney Crosby.
I mean, it's the All-Star game. A lot of these players, they don't really care. I mean, I do appreciate Crosby actually going out there and trying, especially as he gets older. He doesn't know how many more of these he will have left. So I do appreciate him trying. And for the fans' perspective, I think we can all appreciate a player going out there and actually looking like they're having fun and actually trying to win the ball game, or excuse me, puck game, I should say. But Kucherov, yeah, Kucherov, to me, he could just win the MVP. I'm not saying he will. Obviously, Hart winner a couple years ago. I don't think the Lightning can make it to the Cup Finals. I do think that they'll make it to the playoffs. Penguins, I don't even think they'll make it to the playoffs. And I think Kucherov is a big reason why the Lightning have a lead right now.
Well, if he keeps it up in the second half like he did in the first half and doesn't blow a tire out in the All-Star game, I think we'll see something happen for the Lightning.
Two players that have done so much for the sport. Thank you both for joining us. We'll be back later for some more Full Sail Showdown right after the break.